When I was a kid, I was fearless. I ran with scissors and other sharp objects. I'd climb as high as I could and then jump right off. When I was in the 8th grade, my family and I went on a cruise to the Bahamas. We weren't wealthy by any measure, but I think my dad had won some money on a Super Bowl pool, so there we were. It was the first time I had been out of the country, and the ship was docked at a port in Nassau. I don't remember much about the buffet or onboard entertainment because I was busy jumping off the back of the ship at the challenge of another young guest. Today, that kind of thing goes viral, and not in a positive way. Back then, there was a much smaller audience for my risky behavior. I was lucky to surface in one piece, but I was a slow learner. It wouldn't be the last time I jumped, or more accurately fell, from the back of a ship. When I was on a port call in Spain aboard a training ship in college, some of my classmates and I hatched a plan to sneak ashore for a night of excitement. We devised a scheme to use a ladder to climb down to the dock. I was the first to go, but the ladder wasn't secured, so I fell about 50 feet directly into the water with a heavy rope and wood ladder wrapped around me. Disappearing into the dark waters didn't even faze me at the time. It was just another college prank. This is the kind of story that you laugh about later, but my casual attitude about falling off large boats was not the quality that showed I had the right stuff to be an astronaut. I didn't know it at the time, but that kind of fearlessness was exactly what I would need to overcome if I was going to survive. My experience of fear started to change when I was in flight school learning to fly the TA-4J Skyhawk, the U.S. Navy's advanced jet trainer. I remember one particular day at Goliad Field, a little airstrip in the middle of the grasslands of southeast Texas, where I was practicing the skills I'd need to qualify to land on an aircraft carrier. It was uneventful. I did my 10 landings and turned around to come home. When I got out of the plane and came up into the ready room, it was clear that something had happened. The other pilots in my class were all looking somber and quiet. "What's wrong?" I asked. "Bryce crashed. He's dead." Bryce Gerhardt was my friend. He had been on the next practice landing session directly after mine. He'd come into his landing pattern a little too fast, yanked back on the stick too hard, pulled too many G's, and lost consciousness. He flew right into the ground. It had been a pretty routine flight during the day in good weather. All of a sudden, my friend, a guy nearly the same age as me, was dead. I remember thinking life is more fragile than I'd believed. In the course of my career in the military and at NASA, I've lost many friends and colleagues, more than 40 people in aviation and space mishaps. Seeing skilled pilots and astronauts lose their lives has a way of resetting your fear factor.